Welcome to episode 4 of the Rebel Rundown. This week we're going to be talking about the CrossFit Games season, a little bit about the quarterfinals and heading into semi-finals, as well as talking about training habits and things that you can do to optimize and maximize your efforts in the gym.
Yeah.
I'm Ben Collins and this is Hayley Adams.
Yep. So since our last podcast, I think we did that one the week of the quarterfinals, just before it. So since then, we've completed the quarterfinals, which was awesome. So we'll go over sort of that. We've also started our new training cycle. So that whole podcast was based around the training cycle. And that's been really, really good so far as well. We've had good feedback so far. Members have been enjoying the endurance day. Today's Thursday and we've had good attendance, and the classes this afternoon look like they're going to be packed as well. So that's been good. We've had lots of people testing the plyo stuff last week, and I don't know, I think it's been pretty good and good feedback so far. What do you reckon, Ben?
Yeah, there's a real sort of buzz, I think, in the gym at the moment. Lots of people attending really regularly and training really well. We had a test week last week, which was a pre-test at the beginning of our cycle. So we're not expecting everyone to, absolutely smash every test, but set really good numbers to work off over the next 12 weeks. And we definitely saw that. As I said, lots of people getting in and training. And yeah, Hayley mentioned we've had lots of good feedback. I think just in general, the vibe I'm getting is that people right now are feeling like they've got a really good understanding and idea of what we're focusing on in training, what we're trying to build towards, and seeing that, our programming and the way we're running classes at the moment, is all working towards that same goal. So yeah, overall really positive.
Yeah, it's been good. I don't know, today's been fun already, and this whole week we had some good races on Tuesday, and it's been fun in the gym. Coming up this weekend, we're doing a Touring Pro Throwdown, so that's on Saturday. It's a little mini in-house comp, so we should have around 40 members participating in that, which would be awesome. We got heaps of prizes, and we'll have a barbie after, so that'll be fun. And then next weekend we'll be in Brisbane for the Touring Pro, so it's pretty exciting times. I don't know, it's been a good few weeks, and hopefully will be a good few weeks to come.
Yeah, lots of members coming up to the touring as well. Off the top of my head, I know we've got Rose. She's bringing her daughters up.
Yeah,
Ruth and Alfie.
Ruth and Alfie, Kathy. Elsie, Lucy, Andy Byron
coming up. Byron,
Nate. Beck,
Steve Harvey, Tessa. It's starting to be a really good crew. If we've missed you, either notify us if we're unaware, or sorry we forgot you. But no, there's a really good crew coming up, and also guys, that's all going to be streamed live over the weekend, so we'll share all the links for that, and you can check Hayley out on the competition floor on your screen if you can't get there in person. But yeah, overall Hayley's had a really good build up to it. She's been practicing the workouts because they've been known for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So she's done variations of them. She's done some sort of either partially or in full. And she's excited. I'm excited. It's going to be really cool to see her out there with the big dogs. And we know already on day one, on the first event, which is a great event for her, she's going to be in the second heat, I should say, which is all the big dogs. So it'll be probably the top 20. And we get to see her against some of the very, very best. So
it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. It's going to be super fun. And the fact so many people are coming up is just making that a little bit more special too. So it's been a good few weeks, and yeah, I'm pumped. I'm just ready to go. It's hard to wait for it, which I think is good when you're just ready. And yeah, I'm excited to go. This time next week we'll be up there. So checking in the afternoon. Yeah. That's next weekend. But
and just quickly too, t-shirts are coming. By the time this gets out, hopefully it's Thursday today. We hopefully get this out on Friday, but we should get the t-shirts Friday. So by the time you see this, you might already have your t-shirt, but they are coming. They're very close, and a huge thank you to everyone who got behind and supported that. We sold more than we anticipated. And so, yeah, Hayley's been really, really well supported overall with this, with the trip. And it's been great for her because she's been able to really focus on her training and also not have to worry about, like, you know, the expense of going to see practitioners, and just buy herself a couple of bits of, you know, training gear and stuff to have so that she can perform at her very best.
Yeah, I've been super lucky. So thank you guys for getting behind the t-shirts and just showing support. And yeah, like lots of different people and stuff have gone behind me. So yeah, pretty lucky, and I'm excited to go and like represent you all. It's gonna be awesome. I'm really keen.
What about, let's just cycle back a little bit too.
Yeah.
So, because we haven't really done like a post quarterfinals chat on one of these, because this is the first one we've done since that. And so overall, I think we had like 15 people qualify. We had about 12 participate. There was 2 or 3 that sat out for various reasons, but those that did it, first of all, they did an awesome job, and we have given shout outs and things, so this isn't the first mention, but chance to chat in person about it. What were like some of your highlights?
I thought it was a great weekend, like just on the like member level and like the people, like everyone else doing it. I really enjoyed every session that they did. So most people did it on like Friday afternoon. We did like at 2:00, and then we did it again after the class, and then we did Saturday morning and Sunday morning, and all like 4 of those times was just good vibes in here. Like, I don't know, I just think everyone had such a good attitude, and no one was like getting too in their head or too into it where they weren't enjoying it. So yeah, I don't know, it was just overall a really good weekend. I think one of my highlights has got to be Sunday, like when we're in here. This is kind of like on a personal level too, but like when we're in here and everyone, like I was judging Genty and you came over and showed me the leaderboard. That was pretty cool. But everyone was just pretty happy. That's going to be my like, because they were all smashing the workouts too. And then like the boys were doing their ring muscle ups. And that was probably my favorite workout that like everyone did, was that gymnastics workout. And the vibe in here was just like awesome. Like it was the last one of the 4 like for them to do, and yeah, it was just good in here.
Yeah, it like give yourselves a little big pat on the back, those who were participating, because you were really easy to run through it, and I thought everyone did a great job for where they're at, you know, and everyone can come away from that with areas that they know they can focus on now and put energy into, and you know, come quarterfinals next year, hopefully they can see an improvement there and jump up the leaderboard a little bit more.
Yeah.
That moment that Hayley's referring to, by the way, was I was like smashing refresh on the,
the leaderboard.
And finally, like the leaderboard after the first 2 workouts came up, and she was sitting in first place. So
it was wild.
I was like, yeah, right. I mean, I'm not completely surprised. I knew they were really good workouts for her, the first 2. She was definitely shocked, and I think probably thought there's a mistake there.
Oh, I was like, that's going to be a joke. Like, it was a bit funny. I was like, nah.
I was like, you're first. And she's like, huh? And I'm like, no, like, yeah, you're first. You've got like a 5th and a 2nd place or something.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that was pretty cool. So
yeah, I think it was a 4th.
I think I smashed the leaderboard like double the amount of times for the last 2 workouts, which she was at the physio for, and I'd actually gone and attended that to sort of see what he had to say about one of the little niggles she got going on, and ended up finishing. Well, I think you were 13th.
I was 13th then,
then the leaderboard moved around a little bit, so ended up 17th.
Yeah,
which is super cool.
Yeah, so. But yeah, that was really good. What was your highlight?
Highlight. Oh, definitely like, you know, for like it was watching Carly Bates get her PB, her clean and jerk, and get her first handstand push up. So yeah, like I think she attempted, I think it was 56 kilos, and she probably attempted it like
heaps,
up close to 15 times.
Yeah,
and yeah, eventually hit it, and basically
she got the clean every time.
Learn how to split jerk in the middle of that workout. So I don't think I've seen her at weightlifting yet, but you need to get your ass along to that, Carly, and keep improving those lifts, because you're definitely strong enough to do more.
Yeah,
but and yeah, seeing those sort of things was probably my highlight.
Yeah, and she did. She was almost not even going to try the last workout, because she'd never really done a handstand push up to the floor. And we're like, whatever, just do it. And first attempt, she she did it. And then
Yeah.
I think she only managed to get like one more like good rep in the workout, but like she had so many reps that were so close. So that was pretty cool as well.
Couple other actually things I'd mention is, I think someone like Erin, who had some areas she was good in and some areas that were real struggle, like had a really positive attitude and made the most of the workouts, even though there was a couple of really challenging elements. It was Elle's first quarterfinals and she did really, really well overall. I think she finished inside the top 500.
Yeah, I think she's like 430.
Which is really cool. And then I thought Genty like executed all her workouts really, really well.
Yeah.
And I thought that, even the stuff that was harder for her, like her game plan and execution was really on point. And then Sean Sini smashed it too. He was really good. He was like...
He was 218th overall at the end of the
beat me
weekend.
on one workout.
Yeah.
And then he was not far behind me on at least a couple others. So
yeah,
he did really, really good too.
What was your favourite workout of the 4?
I placed highest on the handstand push-up ring muscle-up one. I was really surprised. I quite liked the minute of snatches, minute of row, minute of step-ups. I thought that was going to hurt a lot more, and I was happy with my performance on it, and it was probably one that I really felt like I could have actually done a little better, and a little better would have been quite a good score. So in the end, I liked that workout too. But
Yeah.
they were all pretty good. The burpee box jump over one was definitely not a lot of fun, but
Yeah, if you guys are unaware, that workout was 3 rounds of 50 wall balls and 50 burpee box jump overs. So 150 wall balls and 150 burpee box jump overs. The 150 wall balls were kind of nothing compared to the burpee box jump overs, which is kind of crazy. But
maybe for Hayley, who came second in Oceania on that
yeah,
workout.
but still, but like the burpee box jump overs just took so much time compared to the wall balls.
Yeah.
That was that. I liked that workout, but I seriously thought I was drowning. Like, I felt claustrophobic in the workout. Like, I was probably like 23 burpees in, and I was like deep in the ocean of burpees.
Yeah. Hayley doesn't often
swimming.
look like she's really hurting in workouts, and like she went to stop and rest a couple times on the burpees, and I'm like, do not stop.
I couldn't. My quad was going to explode.
No, you kept going.
Yeah, but it was actually going to explode.
Yeah.
My right quad. It's recovered, but I thought that it was like close to just...
Yeah. So, so I think, that's the quarterfinals wrap up. We're really looking forward to what they throw at us next year.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it was fun. I think, compared to years past, it was very different. Like, we had a lot of time to complete everything, like, almost like too much time, which made it super relaxed, especially when it came to getting all the members through it. But yeah, I think like next year, like I'm excited for it again. Hopefully they add another workout back in. I do like the 5.
Yeah, I don't sort of mind where you kind of have to get them all done in like a couple of days.
Time.
You just kind of like, you don't have time to sort of like overthink it all too much. And
like I finished all of them before a single member did their, before they even did like one workout, I was already done. Like I was just ready to go. I'm like, nah, let's do them all now.
Yeah. So anyway, overall, really good. Moving on. Semi-finals. What workout are you most looking forward to, do you think?
I think I am most looking forward to the first one just because like we kind of tested it a little bit the other day and I just kind of think I forgot that I really liked running. Like, I don't know, like I've always known that I like running, but I've been doing a little bit of running on like the runner and I haven't really done running in like workouts for a while. Like Mayhem have been doing lots of endurance, like building stuff like similar to what we do on Thursdays where it's only running, which I do enjoy. But yeah, I don't know, when we did the workout down the track, we took the bar to the track and it's like the first workout's 5 rounds of 800 meter run and 10 clean and jerks. And I don't know, I was just like, I love running. So I'm excited for that. I'm also excited for the last one. Like, I think that's going to be, like, just fun. Yeah, I don't know. It's short.
It's quick. It doesn't really hurt that bad.
Yeah, it's short. And, like, doing it, I think it's going to be pretty cool, like, doing a lunge down the floor at the end. Like, even if I don't even know where I'll sort of be sitting and how my muscle-ups will go, but, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I think it'll be fun. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for that one, too. I'm excited to, like, check in, like, and go downstairs at the, like, because last year we went and we could sort of see, like, where the elites were going and that, but obviously you can't go there, so I'm excited to go back there.
I wonder if anyone's going to ask you a photo with you.
Probably not. I doubt it. Maybe you.
Last year, Hayley was getting photos with a few of the
me and Katie, we were on the fangirl train.
So we'll see if the tables
I don't think so. But you know what was cool is someone...
Who knows? You might win an event and then they're just like, people come flooding in like, she is good.
Well, someone commented on someone's Instagram that they're like, people I'm looking forward to seeing on the thing. And someone was like, oh, I'm excited to look out for Hayley Adams after listeing to her on the Savant podcast. It's like, that's kind of cool.
Mean. Like, you might have a few secret followers, admirers in there.
I don't think so, but I don't know. I think it's super exciting.
If there is, I'll document it and we'll talk about it on the next podcast. Anyway.
Me and Daisy were talking about tactics yesterday, how we're going to get through the different workouts, and we were doing echo bike sprints, and every round we went on, there was 5 rounds, and we're like 2 rounds in. She's like, all right, last round. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, fake it till you make it. So when we're in the first workout together, I'm going to be like, come on, Daisy, last round.
Yeah.
Treat every round like you lost. But I'm excited. I think it's going to be really fun. Yeah, what are you most excited for?
Yeah, I'm keen to see how that first workout unfolds. I think it's really cool because we get such a big heat, because most of the heats are probably going to be like 8 people in them, and this is going to be half the field, and especially having the top half of the field there, you're going to kind of know exactly where you're at. You know, there might be a couple of people who do really good out of the first heat, but more often than not, most of the top times are going to come from that heat. So yeah, that'll be cool. And then I'm not sort of thinking too far ahead after that, like, you know, but overall I think the workouts are really cool. I can't wait to see whether the handstand walk one is just going to be handstand walking, or whether there's a twist with like obstacles or free handstand push-ups. So that'll be interesting. I kind of hope there is a twist, because it will make it a little more interesting to watch. But
to watch, not to do, that's for sure.
No, you'll be fine. It doesn't matter what they throw at you. You're just
I'll be fine.
Smash it.
Yeah, I'm excited though. It'll be fun.
But yeah, and it's like looking forward to just having a really good crew up there to hang out with in the, you know, snippets of time that we'll have in between and around, like Hayley competing, preparing, recovering, and like making sure she's resting and eating and all the rest of it. But yeah,
I'm excited for my family to come and see what CrossFit is.
Oh yeah,
because I know, like my brother's been to maybe like one CrossFit comp, not mine, but like his girlfriend does CrossFit, and so he's been to one CrossFit comp before. But like,
he's at our gym now too.
Eddie, my brother's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Not Ollie. He doesn't participate in the class.
She's a member now.
Yeah, Eddie. Yeah, exactly. Eddie. But it wasn't Eddie's comp. It was actually Eddie's mum who was competing at the comp. Yeah, we went to CrossFit Frankston. Anyway, that's not important. So he's been to a CrossFit comp, but my dad and sister Ollie's watched a fair bit of CrossFit with me, like on the TV, but I don't think they'd have too much of an idea of like what goes on. So I'm excited for them to sort of see it. And yeah, I think they'll be like, whoa, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah, touring's like pretty hectic. So it's at Pat Rafter Arena, tennis stadium. It's pretty full. Like, yeah, especially when the top dogs are on, it's pretty full. It's really, really loud. They have like lights, but they also have like flames going off, and
we lunge across the line and be like,
yeah, I remember last year, like, there was times where I'm like, I'm overstimulated in here. Like, it's kind of hectic. But it is cool. And if you've never been to one and you're not going this year, maybe at some point definitely go check it out, because it's like CrossFit.
It's like the best.
It's sort of
people from crazy. Like America, they'll be like, this is the best semi-finals out of all of them, because there's semi-finals in every region. And like Touring Pro just goes off. I was actually listening to Rich Froning was on the Savant podcast recently, and he was saying that Savant asked him why he thinks the Torian Pro is so popular compared to the others. And I think it's probably because there's no other like real comps, but it's just packed. Like it sells out.
Yeah, I think Australia has always done a really good job. It used to be regionals, not semi-finals, and used to be in Wollongong, where they had Down Under champs last year, and it's a grouse venue, and so that I think like was the catalyst for what semi-finals is now, obviously, and it was always a really big buzz. It always got good attendances, and it was really run really well. And now Torian's just taken that, and although there's some things I prefer about the Wollongong location, like it's a real spectacle, and
It's a bit closer to things.
It's cool.
It's at the beach.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good. Actually, now I mentioned before, like, you know, how you're going to manage yourself around like workouts, like preparation, recovery, like resting, getting enough food in, all those sort of things. So we're going to chat a little bit about some of our own like training habits that we try and implement daily, weekly, etc. That are good things to do just to try and get the very best out of yourself every time you train. So what are some of yours? Like going into training, what do you think your top 2 or 3 things are that you do that help you prepare?
I always plan my session to the extent that's needed. Like I basically always plan, like I've got a book that I write as much at training down as necessary in there. Like at the moment I kind of only write a little bit just because the days can change around a little bit, but for the last few months I'll write the night before my whole training day in my book. One thing that at the moment that I'm still writing in there that I think is super important is I write down all of my like warm-uppy stuff, so prehab, rehab exercises, and that way it's like a checklist, because a lot of people, like I've got a heap of prehab and rehab to be doing at the moment, and I know a lot of other people do too. And just talking to people, I'm always like, oh, have you been doing this exercise that I, showed you? And they'll be like, no, like, oh, I forget this, that, whatever. I used to be the exact same until I started writing it down in my book every day, because then there's a list and I have to tick it off. So I'll literally be like, my book every day, it says traction drill 5 by 5 5. Side plank, external rotation, 3 by 8 8. It says the same thing every day. Like, I'm not going to forget what they are because I do them every day. But I don't know, it's just like the fact that the list is there and that I can tick it off, like it just forces me to do it.
Which is good. The only problem with it is when there's like a workout Hayley's got to change or modify and she doesn't get to tick it off. But in terms
that's what I'm talking about. You write down what's necessary. So for me at the moment, I only really write down the rehab, and then I've kind of just gotten into the habit of writing stuff down like after I do it, just so that you don't get disappointed when you don't do something. But if I'm feeling really good and then I can get through all my training, it's a very satisfying thing to do.
It's like an accountability measure for you. And definitely, like obviously a lot of you use SugarWOD to record your training results, and it's pretty easy to come into class and like you're going to follow the warm-up, you're going to do the strength, the workout, etc. But definitely, like if you've got bits and pieces you need to work on outside of that, or if you're coming to like an open gym time, maybe get yourself a notebook and start writing your plan out so you stick to it.
Or you can even like say if you don't have time every week, but you're like, oh, I really want to work on this, or like I really want to, this week I'm going to prioritize doing my rehab. Just before you come, write it on a sticky note and bring it in with you. Like you don't need a proper book or anything. Like just write on a sticky note, then you have a plan and plan to come in early. Like I know, like for example, like I come in early every day so that I have enough time to do all of it. And like it's pretty easy for most people to do that unless they're like rushing from work or whatever. But figure out how long it's going to take you and show up that many minutes early to do it. So, and obviously if you train at 5:30 or something, you can't do that. But like say you come in an open gym, you can do it in an open gym. Say you're training at 5:30 p.m, maybe show up at 10 past 5, and rather than just like chatting to someone for 20 minutes, you could do 20 minutes of your exercises.
And just on that too, like when you're writing in the workouts and the strength pieces and stuff too, you know, like you sometimes like mentally preparing a little bit for that as well, or thinking about how you're going to approach it and you know, if it's going to be an intense effort, a low intense, like if you're going to try and do things unbroken, break them up.
Yeah, you can write that stuff in. I don't
No,
really.
more like, do you mentally, like when you write it in, do you just kind of mentally, or you don't, you think
No,
about
not
a different
as
time?
much. With lifts and stuff, I try not to put percentages and stuff in there. RPEs are a little bit different, but I find sometimes if I write percentages and I pre-write my numbers in there, it puts a bit of an expectation on something, especially because I'm writing the stuff in the night before. Like, I don't know how I'm going to wake up. I don't know how I'm going to feel. I don't know how the day is going to go. So I try and avoid that. With workouts, like I do like to write them in just so that I have a little bit of awareness of like how long something's going to take me, how much time I need to allow for it. I don't often think about like the actual plan before when I get there, because I'll find I write it all in my book mainly for like preparation like of the day. And then when I go, like we have the program that I follow, Mayhem, they do the athlete notes as well, which we've got on our Sugar WOD now too. And I'll often only really look at those like right before I do the workout to do the plan. So I wouldn't look at that too far in advance, just because then I find I sort of overthink things too much. But like for, you guys, like using those athlete notes, that's actually another good habit, is get onto Sugar WOD and look at the athlete notes and like actually try and understand what the workout you're trying to get, like what the workout is trying to get out of you, like how to get the most out of it. That way you can be mentally prepared for that, rather than coming in and not really having any idea. And then when the coach is like, do this, you're like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, they're there for a reason, and like anything, you know, the more you try and apply these things, the better you get at it. So obviously we're using RPEs a lot at the moment, and you know, people are finding their feet with that, like knowing what a 7 or an 8 is on a certain workout, because every workout's different, you know. And so the more that you think about that, focus on how you apply yourself, you'll start to know where those levels actually lie, and then you can like more consistently get the right stimulus. But also too, you know, you've got things in there that are talking about like time frames. Like this part of it should take you 60 seconds. If that's too challenging, then drop it down a little bit. And things like that. There's sometimes, you know, movement substitutions and options in there as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really good practice to get into. Like these days I'm sort of like jamming my training in a little bit more around just when I can fit it in. But definitely like in the past, you know, I would sort of like, you know, I used to have a training diary, and definitely if I was writing the workouts in, I'd sort of be going through them in my head as I would write them in, and thinking about how they're going to feel, and thinking about like where I'm going to break and where I'm going to push, and all those little things too. So I think that kind of like mental preparation and like visualization falls into the same thing, visualizing how you're going to like execute certain movements. The more you do that stuff, the more likely you are to actually perform the workout the way you're sort of envisioning it and planning it. So that could be something that you could try if you don't already.
Yeah. Another one that sort of goes along with the prehab, rehabby stuff is I use GoWOD. I don't use it super like religiously, like every day sort of stuff, but I do the daily ones probably like twice a week. Like I'll do the 22-minute daily one, and then I think I'll probably try and start doing the pre-workout ones a bit more often. I never really did those. Ben would always do them, but he had me do them the other day, and they're actually really good. So that's just another thing to do, and it holds you accountable when it comes to mobility work and stretching. Like every Thursday for the last 5 months probably, I've done a 22-minute GoWOD in the gym just whilst Ben's training. And it's just like, you know, I'm not making up my own stretches. I'm not just like holding this stretch for 30 seconds, then holding that one for 2 minutes while I scroll on my phone. Like it keeps you accountable, and I actually like get them done. So GoWOD definitely helps me, and I try and do it like 2 times a week minimum. I wouldn't say I'm like the best at doing it every day or anything, but
I really like the pre-WOD one. You just punch in the movements that you're doing that day, and it gives you options, like if you've got a massage gun or not, a band suggests different things, you can select or deselect them, and then you can do, I think there's like a 3-minute version, a 10-minute, or like a 15, and I'll go between the 10 and the 3 depending on how much time I have. But I use that most days pre-workout. I occasionally will do one at home, just like a daily one. And I should definitely do that more. But yeah, it's a great tool. As Hayley was saying, it takes the thinking, the guessing, and to a degree helps you improve like how you're executing it all as well. You've got a video and you've got a timer there. So few of our members use it as well. And if that sounds like something you need, then jump on our newsletter, because there's a link to downloading it all in there, and then you can let us know if you want to sign up, and we can send you a discount code as well. But
and yeah, the pre WOD ones, like you could definitely do those if you like want to get in the habit of doing them. Like just come in 5 minutes early and do it. Obviously we do the warm up in class, but that's more just like generalized warm up. Now that we have the crossover bands, we do a little bit more activation stuff. But if you're like really serious about, you know, activating the exact muscles that you're going to be using, like the pre-WOD ones are going to be spot on for that.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of stuff that comes up in GoWOD that just isn't like feasible to do in class. So, you know, we are selective with our sort of warm-up movements, and although they're going to target all the areas you're using in the session, you know, doing some of this, you'll do some more stretching and longer hold type stuff when you do GoWOD. A lot of the in-class stuff is a little bit more dynamic and gets the blood flowing. So they are a little bit different. You might sometimes do a GoWOD and then see the same movement come up in our warm-up. But definitely worth exploring. If you a little stiff, a little achy, you need to do a bit more mobilization. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know what other healthy habits I have other than...
I know one, and that is staying hydrated. And this is probably one that I think a lot of members, like, you don't necessarily go, I'll make sure I drink a certain amount of fluid before I train. But like Hayley drinks, this salt complex supplement, and like she drinks water, just flat stick anyway. But, you know, like being well hydrated before you train makes a massive difference. If you're a little bit dehydrated, it's going to drop your, level of exertion. You're also not going to recover as well. You might end up with a headache or feeling lightheaded. And it happens to me at times, because sometimes I'll come in here and I'll start working and I'll get on my computer and I'll just be like hammering for like 4, 5, 6 hours. And I'm like, I've got to go train now. And I go out to the gym and I'm like, fuck, I've hardly drunk any water. And I notice it on those sessions. I'm like, man, it hurts more. I don't recover as well. Sometimes I get dizzy. So staying hydrated, Andy put an health article in our last email, which was really good. Talked a lot about different electrolytes and sources that you can get them from. So, drink plenty of water, especially when you're going to come in and train. Drink plenty after you train. If you're not, using salts or salt supplements, look into that. We need to start stocking something here. We're going to look into that. We want to get a really good product in here that we can sell to you guys as well, and we can recommend. But there's plenty of stuff out there. At the end of the day, in the short term, it's like taking something is going to be better than nothing.
Yeah, you can just have like Hydrolyte, or even like if you're, if you drink a lot of like flavored things, you could just put salt in your drinks. But like Hydrolytes are easy. I do really feel the difference when I don't have my electrolytes these days. Like, I used to not really like think they did much, and then now, like, if I go 2 days without them, like I'll like cramp. Like I find my quads and my hamstrings and my calves, like especially my legs, like I'll feel them cramping. I'll be like, I need salt. So a lot of people in here, when they're like, they're telling me they've got a cramp or something, I'll be like, have you had much water? They'll be like, no. I'm like, do you eat much salt? No. I'm like, well, that's like salt. I don't know what the science is, but
and if you're stiff, like, and you don't drink enough fluid, and here's the thing, like, if you don't consume enough salt, but you also drink a lot of water, you just flush more of these salts out of your body, and so you don't retain that water. It just goes through your system, and all of our muscle tissues, connective tissues, like, they need to be lubricated. So being hydrated, having salts helps with that. Salts also play a big role in your muscles' ability to contract rapidly. So if you are low on salts, your muscles are lagging. They're not contracting as rapidly as they could, which means you're slower, which means you can't create as much force. So yeah, from a performance perspective, they're really, really important. And I think we've all been kind of scared away from salts to a degree because, in the past there's been a lot of stuff around like our hearts and too much salt. But I guarantee you, the only salt that you kind of want to be cautious of is the crap that you're going to be getting in highly processed foods. And a lot of the time, it's not the salt necessarily that's the big issue, but the product as a whole, which is really problematic. So if you took the average person, you removed all the highly processed foods from their diet and they weren't adding salt to the real food that they cooked, they'll be low in salt. And it's happened to me where I've cleaned my diet up and 2 weeks in, I'm like, where the hell's all my strength gone?
Yeah.
And then like realize that like I don't have enough salt.
Yeah.
And a little thing you can do to tell is like if you're sweating and you get sweat dripping in like your eye, it should sting because of the salt in it. So
or you can
if your sweat should be a little bit salty at least. So you can got a couple little tests there that you can do, but definitely being hydrated, salts are a part of that. I'd also say like for Hayley, like something that she's got really consistent with over the last year and she's used like a sports dietitian and stuff for is, making sure that, she's well fueled and she's training for like 2.5 to 3 hours twice a day, most days. So she's training a heap. Not everyone is training anywhere near that much, we get that, but how you fuel yourself and more importantly, it's really like a preparation thing.
Yeah.
So like you're planning and then actually preparing the food so you've got it on hand for when you need it.
I find lunch is the most important. They're all most important, but when it comes to preparation wise, like I think where a lot of people lose their routine will be lunch because that's when you're often not at home. So it takes a lot more preparation. Like breakfast, I eat the same thing every day. Like I'm sure a majority of people do. So like unless you're getting up super early, you kind of got to prepare. Like I do overnight oats because I eat it early and then I bring food here as well. So that's a little bit of preparation, like night before. Dinner is easy because like I'll plan my week out, but like obviously I'm at home to cook dinner. So like I can always kind of throw something together. But when it comes to lunch, like I'm at the gym all day and if I don't pack lunch, and this happens to Ben, like he doesn't pack lunch and then...
Some days I do.
Yeah, some days he does, maybe like...
I'd say half the days.
Okay.
So 2 out of 4
in the last month, maybe half the days, but before that...
Well,
before that. He used to never bring lunch. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But he will, like, I could not do that because then, and I think a lot of people find this, like, for him it's easy because he can go and get lunch. But, like, some people, they might just end up not eating lunch, right? And then they come to the gym after work and they haven't eaten lunch. Or they've eaten their lunch at, like, 3:30 p.m. because they were busy and the only chance they could go buy their lunch was at 3:30 p.m. Or they've eaten something, and I think this like is the one thing that I couldn't do because like I do have time that I could probably go. Actually, no, that's a lie. I don't have time. But if I did have time, I could probably go buy lunch. If I was trying to train on something that I'm not used to eating, that can also be problematic. I like to eat foods too, what I know feels good.
Yeah, you want like if you are gonna eat closer to when you're going to train, you got to pick things that you can digest fairly rapidly.
Yeah.
If you're eating stuff that's really heavy in fats or like red meat in particular, that takes a while to digest. You don't want that really close to training times. Pick things that fruits, vegetables.
And it's pretty easy to prepare. Like I think people think it's hard. I mean, I say that and I also spend like an hour cooking every morning. But like I could do it more efficiently if I wanted to. Like I basically cook chicken like every 3 days and then I chop up all my veggies and that for my wraps every day. But like I could really pre-chop that all on a Sunday and just have it ready for the week. That would save me like probably 15 minutes every morning. And then I just make the wrap before I come to the gym and they sit in the fridge all day and then they are delicious. And I really want to eat the rest of that one when this is done.
But yeah, definitely we talk about nutrition. A lot of people, or a lot of our members are already working on that. But, do think about your food and how it's actually can fuel you to perform well and fuel you to recover well. And obviously there's some supplements and things that can help, but like making sure that the bulk of your 3 meals and a snack or 2 that you're having a day are all working towards your health and fitness goals.
Yeah, and like it can be challenging, but like also if you just put like a little bit of thought into it, or like ask if you need help, like we can all help you sort of find some easy ways to, you know, dial it in just a little bit. Like maybe you're finding you don't have much energy during training, and maybe all you need to add in is like a snack before you train. And then a lot of people say to me, but I can't eat right before I train. And a lot of like, it's probably depends on what you're eating as to why you can't eat it. And also like if you just condition yourself, I bet you can. Like I could eat those wraps and then do a workout like 20 minutes later, like because I've sort of conditioned myself to it. But stuff like, you know, Milo bars or bananas or like those like quick carb source, they're going to give you lots of good energy for training. And a lot of the time people will be like, oh, you eat like crap like that. And I'm like, yeah, because I eat it at the time that I'm going to use it. You know, like I'm not just sitting at home doing nothing and just smashing LCMs all day. Like the only time I eat my LCMs is like when I'm training, because they're like perfect for that. They're not filling. So I don't know why I would sit at home and eat them. I'd much rather eat something filling.
Yeah, so there's some of our little tips and tricks and things that you can do to try and optimize your performance around training. Another one that I talk about too is just your mindset, having a good attitude, being optimistic about the training, even if there's a bunch of things in there that are really challenging for you. How you self-talk makes a big difference to the kind of outcomes that you're gonna have happen in the gym. So if you're telling yourself it's gonna suck and telling yourself it's gonna be hard and that you're not good enough, guess what? It's going to be all those things.
Yeah.
But if you tell yourself, hey, look, is challenging, but I'm going to get better from this. I'm going to learn. I'm going to grow. I'm going to, you know, go through some adversity that I can come out on the other side and be proud of. Just the fact that I've turned up on a day that has got things in there that are challenging for me, then you are going to grow and you're going to get results far more rapidly than someone who's in that negative, suppressive type mindset that we really don't want to see, you know, like that's not helping you and it's not helping anyone around you. So yeah, putting a positive mindset and frame of mind around the training and just everything leading into that and on the other side of it will make a big difference.
Yeah, a couple things I like to think, which I don't know, you might laugh at me, but like I always, if there's a scary workout, like if I see something, and a lot of people, like I just do my workouts anyway, but you guys could use these if you say, look at Sugarwater and you're being a bit of a cherry picker and you're like, man, I hate that movement. I hate this. I can't do that. I'm not going to go. Like if there's a scary workout, like just think there's always a version that you can do in here. And like, as Ben was saying, like it's just a way for you to do something that's going to help you to grow and learn something new and develop your skills a little bit more. And also, like, I always just think, like, I've done a million workouts that have been challenging before. Like, what's another one? You know, like, there's nothing that I can't just, like, conquer. If I might have to adapt things. But at the end of the day, like, I'm going to complete the workout, or I'm going to get time capped, but I'm still going to complete an amount of work. I'm going to be in the gym. I'm going to be moving my body. For you guys, often, half the time, I'm by myself. But for you guys, you have a coach there helping you, and, like, you've got people cheering you on. Like, you can always get through it and you can always do it. So you just have to come and try, and like that's how you're going to get the most out of yourself, is by showing up and doing things that are uncomfortable. Yeah.
You're not going to enjoy every day. You're not going to like the look of every session. And like, in all honesty, where you're going to get the most growth is when you tackle the things that you're most either fearful of or you find most challenging. So
Ben always tells me you have to do the workouts that you don't feel like you're good at. Like, I'll do something, I'm like, I can't do that, I hate this workout. He's like, too bad.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, you need to do more of these things that like you find really hard, because you know, if you're constantly just doing the things that you like and you're good at, it's like, cool, you'll get better, but it's not where the real growth.
And you're never going to get better. Like, if I don't do the workouts that, you know, are hard and are a bit scary, and I'm like, I can't do that, I'm never going to be able to do them. Like, that's not how it works. You can't do something that you don't practice. Like, you have to show up. You have to try. So, yeah, just having a positive mindset around it. And, like, obviously every day you can't, like, different things happen, and it's not, you don't have to be perfect, but just, like, try your hardest to have a positive mindset. And in here, like, especially in the classes, it's pretty easy to just show up and just be like, I'm going to embrace it.
the more that it's like anything, you know, like the more that you work on these things and implement them, the better that you get, the more consistent that you get with it, the easier it is to turn a shitty day into a good day.
Yeah.
All these sort of things. So I think that's a good note to wrap it up on. We've probably gone a little longer than planned as usual, but hopefully, yeah, you all took something out of this. Semi-finals, cannot wait. We'll get to watch Hayley go against the best in the country or in the Oceania, really. So
Yeah.
it's going to be sick, and we're really looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys all in the gym through this new phase of training, crushing it. And again, as always, if you have suggestions about what you want us to cover next, which partly will be a semi-finals recap. Yeah, we want to obviously expand on things beyond that as well. So let us know if you have any suggestions for the next episode.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
It was fun. See ya.